Welcome to the Crunch McDabble Show. I'm your all-beard and no-brains host, Crunch McDabbles. This is the only show where we break down the Pathfinder 2nd edition rules. And of course, that isn't even true, but we say it anyways for dramatic effect. We looked at the status bonus. We looked at that slippery circumstance bonus. Today we push forward to look at the rest of the bonuses so we can stack them up into a super bonus. Up next, or up first, depending on how you're looking at it, the item bonus. The item bonus might be the most straightforward bonus there is. For the most part, it's not going to be up and down a whole bunch like some of the other bonuses. Once you get a magic weapon, that's it. There's your bonus, the bonus of your potency rune. And then that's pretty much it for your item bonus. You add that into all your attacks with that weapon. Up until you get a magic weapon, or if for some reason you have to use a different weapon other than your main weapon that has the magic potency rune on it, there are still a few things you can do. For example, there are some spells that can give you an item bonus. The spells Magic Weapon, Magic Fang, and Shillelagh, all of these give you an item bonus that you can stack into your total. And you might also be able to benefit from an alchemical elixir that maybe you purchase or let your alchemist create. These mutagens, they're like the shamrock shakes of Galarian. They're delicious, they leave you a little uncomfortable, but overall they're pretty great. But they can only help you out if you're making certain kinds of attacks. A Quicksilver mutagen could work if you're making dex-based attacks, or a bestial mutagen could give you an item bonus, but only if you're making unarmed attacks. For people using improvised weapons, they don't get left out in the cold because they can get an item bonus using the feat Improvised Pummel. It gives you a +1 item bonus on your improvised weapon. So there you go. That's great for them. And for dwarves can add in the effects of a +1 potency rune to an item with the Battle Forger Ancestry feat at level 9. And that's pretty much it. That's about it for item bonuses. Straightforward, usually pretty static, but there you go. The last bonus is the Fortune Effect. A Fortune Effect really isn't even a bonus. A Fortune Effect affects the dice. It takes your dice roll and says, nope, that's not actually the roll we're going to go with. We're going to go with something different. Because of this, you can only have one Fortune Effect affecting a dice roll. So there's no way to Fortune Effect a Fortune Effect. There's only one alteration per dice roll. That's all you can get. A hero point is the most common example of a Fortune Effect. If you have a hero point and you roll a result you don't like, use a hero point and say, nope, we're not taking that dice roll. Instead, we're going to use a different one and re-roll the dice. So the most common example of a Fortune Effect after the hero point is a True Strike spell. Use one action and one first level spell slot to cast this spell, and then your next attack on that turn, roll twice and take the better result. And we average this out to roughly a +3 bonus, which is pretty lovely for a first level spell. Of course, it's at the cost of a spell slot and an action. True Strike is on the arcane and occult spell lists, but it's also available as a deity spell through several well-known deities. It's available through the Sorcerer Draconic Bloodline and through the Witch Patron theme of Fate. Also, if you already have a spell list, say Primal or Divine, and you're a human, you could take the Adapted Adept. It sounds repetitious and redundant, but it's not. It's a human ancestry feat at 5th level, and you could add True Strike to your spell list with it. It's actually a good spell choice for this feat because you can't heighten True Strike anyways. But we don't want to leave out non-spellcasting classes because True Strike is just that good for your melee build. So non-spellcasting classes could potentially get in on this True Strike lottery if they archetype into a spellcasting class that has the occult or arcane spell list. At level 4 with the basic spellcasting feat, they could have a first level spell slot so they could spam in True Strike with that. And at level 8, they could increase this to 2 first level spell slots, all for 3 feats. And who knows what other kinds of benefits they could get from their other spells. And there's one other one, my new favorite, my lifelong dream ever since I heard about it last week on the Crunch McDabble show. It's to make a character archetype into an investigator just to get the Devise a Stratagem bonus with the 4th level Investigator Stratagem feat. It's basically a free True Strike each round without using a spell slot, just an action. So then at 4th level, a fighter or some other martial class could spend an action using Devise a Stratagem, and then if you like the roll, you use it. And if you don't like the roll, you just attack a different target and hope for a better result. All this can be yours for the Investigator archetype, and all that requires is a 14 intelligence. But if you really want to amp up your fortune bonuses, the cream of the crop is the 7th level spell True Target. Yep, you won't be casting this until 15th level, but it gives out a True Strike to 4 of your friends, all against one target. It's basically a death sentence to that target. It's a cool spell. Powerful, high level, but I like it. And that is it for our fortune effects. So now we have all these bonuses. We have a status bonus, we have a circumstance bonus, we have an item bonus, and we have a fortune effect. We add them all up, and what do we get? The super bonus. So let's look at what this does. At first level, let's say you're using a rapier and you have a 16 strength. Normally you would deal a lowly 3.5 damage on your first attack, 1.9 and 0.2 on subsequent attacks. You can reasonably expect to get a +1 status bonus, especially if you have a bard or cleric in the party. And maybe you have an alchemist in the party who hands you a lesser quicksilver mutagen for a +1 item bonus on your dex-based attacks, and maybe someone gives you an aid reaction for a +1 circumstance bonus, or an investigator gives you this. Now you're up to +3 on the first attack, bringing your average damage up to 5, and subsequent attacks still get that +2 from the status and item bonus for 2.5 and 0.3 average damage, bringing the total for the round from 4.6 up to 7.8. That's a great boost. And if, let's say, you had True Strike somehow, and you added that in using an action, thereby giving up your third action, so no huge loss there, the total on that first attack goes up to 7.6. Ooh, plus the second attack at +2 for 2.5 more, and you pierced in 10.1 average damage. So you hit double digits there. That's quite an improvement from 4.6. That's more than double. But there is more, believe it or not. Even at first level, an 8 attempt could critically succeed, making a chance. It's a small chance, but there's still a chance for a +2 bonus on that circumstance bonus from the aid. This would bring the total for that first attack up to 8.5 with the True Strike, for a total of 11 for the round. Not bad for a weenie that's barely trained with the rapier. Somewhere around 5th level, you would probably have a +1 weapon, solidifying your item bonus. But then at 7th level, also skill checks could improve to master proficiency, which means an athletics check, an attempt to aid. If it critically succeeds, it could pour in a +3 circumstance bonus by preparing a trip or shove. All this would be at the DM discretion, of course, but there you go. At 8th level, bards could get the Inspire Heroics focus spell, so at the cost of a focus point, the party could get a +2 circumstance bonus for the round, or a +3 on a critical success. So now our weenie, barely trained with the rapier, now he has an 18 strength and a +1 striking rapier. Let's put them against an armor class of 24. Normally, they would smoke in 8.2, 4.6, and 1.9 for 14.7 for the round. So not bad average damage. But you pop in a +3 for a critical Inspire Heroics from the Bard, and a +3 for a critical aid from someone, and a True Strike, and the damage is 19 for that first attack, and still 6.3 on the second attack, which doesn't have the circumstance bonus, just the +3 from status and a +1 from item, for 25.3 for the round, but it's still a real good improvement from 14.7. And on to the next boosts we get. At level 9, the helpful Halfling Ancestry feat improves a Halfling's bonuses on critical successes. If they had a master proficiency with the skill they were attempting, they can now give out a +4 circumstance bonus on a critical success. And then at 10th level, the weapon property rune could be increased to +2 for that consistent +2 item bonus on all your attacks. So now at 10th level, with the +2 striking rapier, straight away our damage against an armor class of 28 is going to be 6.8, 4.1, and 0.6 for a total of 11.5 for the round. But if we snab a +4 bonus from a helpful halfling in their critical success, and we also snab a +3 from a helpful bard on their critical success for Inspire Heroics, and we drop a True Strike, and now our barely trained weenie with the rapier versus that tough armor class of 28 slams in 19 on the first attack, and then 5.7 on the second attack for 24.7 for the round. And that's about the same increase we had at 8th level, but we were able to maintain that damage against a much tougher armor class with the extra aid bonus from the halfling. And there you go, that is it. That's stacking bonuses from status, circumstance, item, and fortune to create a super bonus that will punish those evil adversaries. And that is it. I've been your host, Crunch McDabbles. This has been the Crunch McDabbles Show. Be wary, adventurers, or you might make a one-way trip to Pharasma's court, and that's not an ideal vacation destination. Stay on this side of the boneyard by stacking your bonuses. Okay, I get it.